For comics, turn the page, ink in the margins, front to stage. Pile drivers for wrestling, crowd goes wild. Place for good food, served up styled. One name, 3 lanes, here we roll. Turn it up, let it go, let it go. Triple B, 3 things we love. Triple B, turn it up loud. Panels, pile drivers, plates.
Hello and welcome in for episode number 4 of Triple P, the Comic Pod, Panels, Pile Drivers, and Plates with Josh Newell. I'm the co-host, Super Dave Miller, and we couldn't do it without the man himself, the creator of Castle Aiden, the promoter of BIW Independent Wrestling, Mr. Josh Newell. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Sounds like you might already be tired, though, Dave. Has it been a long day?
It's always a long day. I started at 3:30.
What time you get off usually? Around lunch?
Today it was 2 o'clock. Today I was back around 2:15.
Okay, so it's
Yesterday I was done by noon.
okay. So they're 10 to 12-hour days usually, though.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my day is going to start, and it's going to take me it's a 45-minute drive to work, and then I get my truck and drive another hour to start my day.
Right.
So I'm spending two hours of my days driving, just to and from.
Now, are you still mainly doing like the Vicksburg area and right there around?
No. I'm down in McGee.
Okay.
McGee, Mount Olive, Mize. They restructured, and I didn't have enough seniority to keep my route.
I got you.
But I got a really sweet route, and I've passed up going back to my old route twice now.
Okay.
So, I mean, the further you drive, the less you do.
Right. Makes sense.
And I've got a pretty neat little hack that my truck burns gas, and I put 60 gallons a week in it. But I do it at Texaco where I get the points, and then when I have to fill up that gas guzzler that I drive, I get 50 cents off every time.
Okay. That adds up for sure.
Yeah. It's not bad. Not bad at all. I guess before we get into everything, we ought to start with the unfortunate news of the week that we lost Dory Funk Jr. yesterday.
Yeah, and a lot of the wrestlers that we brought in and stuff have had interactions. Like I know Caleb Conley shared something the other day where him and Dory were together, and Steve Anthony's been around him before, and some of our other guys too.
Oh
but,
yeah.
I Terry was my favorite of the two brothers, but being an All Japan guy, I definitely have seen my fair share of Dory Funk because he was such a big name in Japan. I mean, he was a big name here, obviously too, but him and his brother in Japan as a tag team in those championship carnivals back in the day, or just him as a solo guy, and just being a technical, and he was going to give you 20, 25, 30-minute matches pretty consistently.
Yeah, he his world championship days were over by the time that I in 82 when I was really getting heavy into watching. But
Right.
But in 82, David Von Erich was in Florida, and he was mentoring David as a heel. They won the tag team champions from the Briscoes, and eventually he turned on David, making David a baby face again before he came back to Texas.
Right. And the Funks versus the Briscoes, you can't
count
on your fingers and toes how many times they wrestled each other. So,
well, in 2005 in Tampa, Florida, I met him and Terry. As a matter of fact, I got pictures of both of them. But on the show that night, they wrestled AMW, America's Most Wanted.
wow. In 2005, you said?
Yes, for the NWA World Tag Team Championship, and they gave those boys everything they could handle.
In 2005, America's Most Wanted was a damn good tag team.
They sure were, and the Funks kept up with them.
Okay.
It was.
I mean, James Storm's still going pretty strong. He slowed down a little, but he still can go in the ring.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, of course, that's a different story. He took time off, health reasons and different things, but James is still going strong.
We saw Chris recently in Atlanta.
Okay.
Not in Atlanta, in Nashville. He came to Jeff Jarrett's Asylum weekend, and we learned a lot about him, and he talked about his time with TNA and how it ended, and he learned some things. It was, really great guy.
One of the best matches I've ever seen in person was here in Monroe in front of about 35 people. It was America's Most Wanted versus the Naturals while they were both on TNA. I would say 20, 21 years ago at this point, because it was just before I started BIW. And they worked like it was 10,000 people in the building, even though there was less than 50. And it was so good. That's one of the reasons I booked Chase at a later date.
Oh.
Was because of that match and just seeing how hard he worked. I was like, look, if he'll do that in front of 50, I know he's going to come in and give me his best in front of 300, 400, 500, however much we have that night.
Yeah.
And Chase is never disappointed. I mean, the night that Cassidy retired, Chase gave me all he had in the tank plus some for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And he was pushing Cassidy. If Cassidy was wanting to slow down, Chase was, no, sir. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow, but not tonight.
Well, Godspeed to Dory Funk Jr. Thoughts and prayers to his wife Marty, and I mean he had a good long life.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not gonna sit here and obviously it's sad. It's sad when he dies, but he's got to do so many amazing things and got to travel and go back and forth from Florida and Japan. And
he just had an exploding death match last year.
Yeah. And I know All Japan was still bringing him in as of a few years ago for little small things. And I know he did a 6-man tag on one of the shows I watched and, just kind of tagged him in, let him hit the highlights. But, such a great career. Terry's in my personal top 10 of all time. Dory was, again, kind of like you said, a little past. I didn't get to see the best of Dory.
Yeah.
By the time I was watching Dory Funk matches, if he wasn't in a tag with his brother, it wasn't exactly my cup of tea at that point.
I had forgotten they were on WrestleMania 2.
Yeah.
I learned that today. And I watched WrestleMania 2, but I completely forgot about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, anything that you can do, the Funks in general have done in wrestling. So,
and they had the Amarillo territory, and the who's who of wrestling went through the Amarillo territory.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Bob. When I met Bob Backlund about 12 years ago, I told him I was from Texas, and he immediately told me about his time in Amarillo. And when I'm thinking Amarillo wrestling, Bob Backlund was not who I was thinking about.
Oh, absolutely not. It's not one of the first names that pop up on your list.
And then you had Ted DiBiase and Dick Murdoch, and I mean everybody.
Texas, though, during the 70s and 80s, whether you're talking Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Amarillo, El Paso, just so many good territories. I mean, Texas was just the place, and you could go to any of the territories and get over and make a real living. Back then, even if you were opening bout, second match, you could still make a damn good living just traveling that Texas circuit.
There's a fellow on Facebook, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, and I apologize for that. He posts results from Texas, like world class, and he'll put the date, and it amazes me how active the Texas Brass Knucks Championship was. Yeah. I mean, you'll see, and because it'll be one day Fritz Von Erich defeated the spoiler for the Texas Brass Knucks Championship, or it just so many, because it was winding down. when I started watching, Jose Lothario was the Texas Brass Knucks champion, and then all of a sudden Terry Gordy was the Texas Brass Knucks champion, and I saw him defend it against Kerry.
Right.
I mean, they actually had the physical belt, and I have a replica of it somewhere around in here. But I mean, it was kind of neat what they did. They just took a pair of brass knuckles and soldered it onto their old title belt. So the Texas belt Red Bastien had is the Texas brass knuckles belt that Dusty Rhodes had.
Right.
And in the American Heavyweight Championship down in Houston, they did the same thing. They put brass knuckles on it. The last brass knuckles champion was Bruiser Brody, and that American belt that Fritz had, Brody had it with brass knuckles on it.
Now, Kabuki had it for a little while, right?
Kabuki did have it.
That's what I thought. I remember some of the bigger world-class shows that he would have it and, have a semi-main event type match with a one-man gang or a Kamala type. And
yeah, Kabuki had it after Gordy.
Got you.
But
and growing up here in Louisiana, I was a Mid-South guy. So to me, when I saw World Class on TV, it was like the enemy. I was like, that's not better than my show. That's not better than Mid-South. And obviously, as a fan, I've been able to go back and kind of enjoy both. But as a kid and just my early days of watching, I was definitely Mid-South only, World Class, boo.
Oh, no.
Then Global, of course, came on TV. So I would run home from school to watch Global. So I do have some fond memories of Texas wrestling for sure.
It's for me, like we went on a trip my senior year. Yeah, my senior year, we went on a trip down to Galveston, and that Saturday night, I found Houston wrestling.
Right.
I actually saw the Kamala promo where he's walking around the jungle, the jungle of Jerry Jarrett's backyard. Before he came to Dallas, I saw Kamala in Houston. They actually had a PSA of Harley Race telling women to look in the backseat of their car before they get in. I mean, it was just, but I mean, it was cool seeing Houston wrestling. So anytime there was another wrestling on television, like we got cable and Southwest Championship Wrestling was on, this is cool. It's something different. Mid-South was something different. Georgia. The only time I got pissed off about finding new wrestling on television was Black Saturday when I went to go watch the 605 show and WWF was on there.
Right. Yeah, it was such a slower pace. It just wasn't what we were used to. It was body guys moving, at the speed of turtle for the most part. Yeah, there was some charisma for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't mind WWF when I saw their matches on USA because they do the Madison Square Garden cards once a month. But when I saw them on Black Saturday, I'm tuning in to hear Rick and Dusty cutting promos.
Right.
And now all of a sudden it's, Hulk Hogan's there with Mr. T.
With WWF, I liked the house shows in the late 80s when you would see, the Quebecers and the Hart Foundation and guys like that really go out there and go. But I didn't like your television product necessarily, where you're going to show me Bruno, Hogan, Andre, it just Big John Studd. It just didn't interest me because I was so used to guys like Doc and Gordy and DiBiase and just the speed in which they wrestled at. WWF just didn't do. And it made sense. I mean, they kept their guys healthy. They kept it moving. They kept the formula going, and it worked. I mean, there's a reason Hogan kept the belt for so long and Bruno kept the belt for so long.
Right.
It worked. So I don't blame them at all. It's just here in the South, we wanted the heel to be the champion and we wanted them to be chased and we wanted to get their butt whipped and we wanted to wait for it and get it. And in WWF, it was just the opposite. It was, all right, good guy's always going to prevail. And down here, it was, no, you going to get your butt kicked for a while. And you might not even get this championship at the end of it. You might just get your butt kicked.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a big deal when the Intercontinental title changed hands. It was, and then the world title didn't change hands very often. I mean, me and my brother just happened to turn on and watch the night that we expected Bob Backlund to get a rematch against the Iron Sheik and Hogan. Here comes Hulk Hogan.
Right.
And we
And of
knew that.
course, Memphis was a weird twist of both. Like Memphis had a little bit of WWE in it, but it also had a little bit of the South in it, like the traditional.
See, I never got to see Memphis, but I was familiar with it when it got coverage in the magazines. And I only knew Jerry Lawler because I saw him on David Letterman.
Right.
I saw him attack Andy Kaufman on David Letterman. But I was really familiar with Andy Kaufman doing the beating the women.
Pork Chop Cash was somebody that stood out to me as far as Memphis wrestling goes. He just looked the part, moved. He had it all. And of course, I got to book Pork Chop much later in life, so that was kind of neat. But he just stood out to me so much on Memphis TV. The Blues Brothers and their thing that they were doing. But I'm trying to think. Of course, Kamala and his start and what Lawler did for him, and then the Lawler Dundee stuff was fun. And I love Georgia wrestling with Buzz Sawyer and Tommy Rich.
Oh, that was awesome. That's about the time with Jake Roberts. When I started watching, Jake was a TV champion. The Legion of Doom was Jake Roberts, King Kong Bundy,
Right.
Buzz Sawyer, and the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
And I think the Spoiler was in there too for a minute.
And I just want to take a second and say Bill Eadie is amazing. So for anybody that just saw the Demolition part of his career and was like, oh, that ripped off the Road Warriors, whatever, y'all need to go back, do some research, look him up. A fantastic booker and locker room guy, but also his stuff in Japan. He was Hogan-like.
Yeah.
Superstar. He was
a masked superstar.
Exactly. And he was a Mongol for a while. But the Demolition thing, you can argue, sure, that they took a little bit from the Warriors, who of course took a little bit themselves. But that's not Bill Eadie in a nutshell. You need to do some research and realize how good that guy is.
Oh yeah.
I hear people all the time just bash Demolition, and it's like, well, you need to go back and look and see what they did before that too. And Demolition had a good career just in that little window as well. But you go back before that, and Bill Eadie's first ballot Hall of Famer, and anybody that watches wrestling's behind.
Oh yeah, his work's Mass Superstar was incredible.
Yeah, you can go back and watch him in Japan wrestling like Mil Mascaras, and Mil didn't like to do anything with anybody, but he didn't do that with Bill. They worked. I mean, they made each other work, but he was going to work. He wasn't going to have a night off when he was wrestling Mass Superstar. And that's one of the few people that could actually pin Mil. He wouldn't let himself get pinned most places.
Yeah.
But that was one of the few guys that if the time was right, he would do it for him.
I guess I expected too much. I expected too much from Mil Mascaras. When I saw him at 83 at the Sportatorium, they brought him in, and I guess seeing him in the wrestling magazines had overhyped him because I wasn't impressed.
I've watched a lot of his stuff in Japan, and it's a lot of like trading holds and in and out of submissions and stuff like that, and a few high spots. And
he was just so prissy. I mean,
for the 70s,
he pranced.
For the 70s and the 80s, like him and Jumbo had some matches in the late 70s that are just fantastic. I liked him, and I liked the mask, and he was one of the first people I ever saw with that flair. I know.
Oh, the presentation was amazing.
That upper body, you could tell he hit the gym. He did some high flying with some submission and technical stuff. You had the mask and multiple masks per match usually. You also just had that reputation. Of course, as a kid, I didn't know that he was necessarily difficult to work with. I just know.
Oh, yeah. We didn't know that till much later.
Yeah. I just know this guy's always kicking butt every time I see him.
I guess it's just his style did not fit in world class.
Right. And mainly they just brought him in as a draw, right? They didn't do big
It was a one-off.
Yeah.
There was no story. It was like he was coming in for that Friday night.
I know Jim Cornette will talk about the Houston payoffs on his show, and Mil's on there a good bit for Houston, and he's usually the highest paid guy on the show. Plus, there's a little travel bonus in there for him. But unless the NWA World Champion was on the show, Mil was usually the highest paid guy, and sometimes he was equal to the NWA World Champion. So that's how many people they felt that he drew to spend that kind of money back in the 70s and 80s.
Well, yeah, he was. I mean, he was a huge international star. I mean, and he was on in movies and soap operas wearing the mask.
Right.
So
We need to reach out to somebody like Rudy Boy one day and get him on here and have him talk about some of the great Texas wrestlers, or Dusty Wolf, one of those two guys.
that's a good idea. That'd be fun.
Dusty helped me a lot in the first year or two by telling me how much I sucked and trying to get me to quit. And not really trying to get me to quit, but he wouldn't have been butthurt if I'd have quit. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He'd have been okay with it. But after a few years, me and Dusty, I wouldn't say friends, but we definitely grew a respect. I always had a respect for him, but he at least grew a tolerance / respect for me. Plus, Saxon was kind of my wrestling dad, and Saxon's wrestling dad was kind of Dusty Wolf. So, I was in the family. Even if I was a distant member of the family, I was at least welcome to the family. After a lot of years of busting my balls, though.
Well, Josh, since we're talking about wrestling, let's talk about what we got coming up to Oak Grove.
Yeah, the 15th. So not this weekend, but next.
August 15th, Bayou Independent Wrestling presents Worthy Cost at the Lingo Center in Oak Grove, Louisiana. I love the venue.
Oh, yeah. Super fun venue. It's the only spot that you would really want to have a show in Oak Grove. You could do one at the high school, but that would be the only other place for sure.
Yeah. Am I the only referee on this one?
You are?
Good. Then I don't have to go up and down them stairs more than I can wait in the ring.
No, Robert will be back for Fountain Hill on September 19th.
Good deal. Let's see who we got. We got Wes Warren versus Christian Blake.
Yep. Two guys that have fought each other down south a lot, but never here at BIW. They're going to bring physical attitude, energy to the match. No love lost between the two.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's any love lost between Wes Warren and anybody.
Wes hates everybody. I mean, he's dating Stella Wren, and I think he hates her too. That's just how Wes rolls.
He's consistent. You know what you get.
You know where you stand. Not on his good side.
Ray Fury versus Hunter Law.
Yeah, one of those 50-50 matches. If you told me Ray beats him, cool, I'd get it. If you said Hunter Law took the win, okay, I get it. Both these guys are just so good. They can go fast-paced. They can slow it down. They can do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, Hunter's coming off that great showing against Steve Anthony.
Yeah, he didn't get the win, but he did get a time limit draw out of him.
Yeah.
And anytime you can go the time limit with the GOAT, you did something. Because Steve Anthony is the best wrestler I've ever been around in my 19 years of doing it. I've heard greats, some of the best say technically he's as good as they've ever seen. And he's just that good. So anytime you can go time limit draw with Steve, like you got my attention.
All right, for the Southern Tag Team Championship, Muddy Waters will be defending against the Perfect Tag Team.
Yep, this will be their first title defense since winning the title from Hate City. I know Oak Grove's looking forward to it. I've had several people in my inbox happy that Muddy Waters was booked and happy they're on the show. Diego's wrestled for us before, but his tag team partner, David Teen, hasn't. So this will be his debut, and this will be their debut as a tag team for us. But they've done a lot of good stuff in West Texas. They're from that San Antonio market. And they have a good track record there. So Muddy Waters is going to have their hands full.
Cassandra Golden.
Okay, now
BIW Women's Champion.
She has a new opponent. She had her new opponent, fresh back from Japan, Brooklyn Barrett.
Oh, we're not going to get Caliente this time?
Nope, Brooklyn Barrett will be doing it. And she just wrestled for Marigold in Japan here recently. So it'll be an interesting matchup. And this will be Brooklyn's debut for us as well.
Brooklyn Barrett.
Yep.
I have to look her up.
Yep.
The name sounds familiar.
You've seen her work. She's worked for Gulf Coast. She's worked for Law, I think. I know she's did some 225 stuff. I think Fury and Lucha is who she trains with.
Okay.
So she's out of Mobile, Alabama.
All right. And then for the BIW Southern Championship, we got Alex Arsenal defending against Mr. Everything in BIW.
I mean, the only time they fought one-on-one, Steve Anthony took it. Now, Arsenal wasn't the champion at the time, and he was still a member of Southern Royalty. But the only time they've ever met, Steve Anthony got the win. Steve Anthony is the only two-time Southern champion in BIW history. So he might be the only three-time if he walks out with the title this night.
This will be one to watch. If there's no other match on the show, this one ought to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it don't matter what the first four matches was. This match here is worth your $15 ticket.
Yeah.
But that's not how we think at BIW. So we're still giving you
No.
But we're still giving you entertainment all the way through. But if somebody did just stick this on top of the card and then do nothing underneath, this would still be worth your $15.
How far is Oak Grove from Monroe?
It takes me about an hour and 5 minutes to get to the building.
And it's about an hour and a half, probably about an hour from Vicksburg. It's not a bad location.
No, you can get to it easily. Bastrop people can get there in 30 minutes. Our Fountain Hill fans can get there in about an hour. Very easy to get to. And afterwards, we are going to eat at Fletcher's Country Store. They're going to stay open late for us, and they do burgers, chicken sandwiches, and I think you can do breakfast all day. So if you wanted an omelet, they normally close at either 8 or 9, but they're going to stay open late for us that night.
Awesome. Sounds like a good time. We're going to have a great time in Oak Grove, Louisiana for worthy cost.
Yep. Not this weekend, but next. And then once we get through with that, we'll go straight into promoting for September 19th in Fountain Hill, Arkansas, because we have a hell of a show lined up for it. I can't wait to start sharing some of the matches. Bam Bam will be back to defend his Deep South Heritage title. Chase Stevens, that some of y'all will know from TNA, but we also mentioned him earlier. He'll be back in BIW. We got a 6-man tag main event on that show. We also have a match with two guys in Louisiana that are in the top 5 of Louisiana wrestlers, top 10 on everybody's list, but top 5 on my list. And they've actually never wrestled each other one-on-one, and they live about an hour and a half from each other. So we're about to fix that. We're about to ruin this whole they've never fought each other thing. So we got some good stuff lined up for Fountain Hill. Miss Betty's already messaged me, starting to get the snacks ready and all that good stuff.
She spoils us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I always eat good in Fountain Hill, which is good because there's nothing else out there today.
Yeah, West Monroe, we go to El Paso, Brookhaven. If you want to hit, fast food on your way out or Waffle House, you can. Oak Grove, Fletcher's Country Store, staying open for us. There's nothing in Fountain Hill. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Melted chocolate bar from Dollar General.
Yes. And you better get that before the show because it's closed after.
Yeah. Well, let's talk some comic books, Josh.
Let's do it. It's Wednesday, so, new comic book day.
And we're going to go outside the bubble today. We're not going to talk about Marvel and DC. We're going to talk about some of the other guys.
Absolutely. I love DC. Marvel, I'm not supporting much right now, but my love is went in and out depending on the time period. But my heart as an independent wrestling promoter and as somebody trying to break into comics with my own book, I love the independent stuff. I like finding the stuff that's a little under the radar. And some of the stuff we're going to talk about today is doing huge numbers. So not all this is technically under the radar just because it's independent.
Right.
It's kind of like saying, the TNA world champion and then acting like nobody's ever heard of Dolph Ziggler or, whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not exactly under the radar, but it's still not the big two. It's still not Marvel. It's still not DC.
But while we're speaking of Marvel, have you seen Spider-Man yet?
I haven't. We're probably going by the time we have podcast next Wednesday. I should have seen it.
I'll see if I can get in to see it at some point.
I think we're gonna go either Sunday or Monday.
Oh. All right, here we go. I think you mentioned this comic book.
Yeah, on week one.
On week one,
we talked about New York. This little series here, it was one that people were kind of speculating on. So when number one came out, everybody was kind of like buzzing about it, picking it up. And Image had a couple books like that this year, and all the others pretty much died down. Nectar, White Sky, there was one or two others. But this one has stayed pretty popular. Now it died down a little, but it's stayed pretty popular, and it's probably my second or third favorite comic that I read on a monthly basis, and it's in my wife's top 5 as well. It's just a lot of fun. It tells a good, cute fantasy story, but it's not for kids. It's definitely still an adult reader, but the artwork kind of has that light vibe to it.
Well, I mean, in the description, they're talking about that he's got a bad case of swamp ass. So.
They're about to do the first trade for this as well. So don't let the number 7 scare you. You can pick up that issue and then get 1 through either 5 or 6 in a trade.
I'll get the first trade and give it a try, like I did Absolute Batman.
It's a completely different story than Absolute Batman.
Well, I would imagine.
It is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and it's a fantasy book too, just like the one we're working on. But they are completely different. They are not the same. They share a map. Both books have a map. That's about the only thing that's the same.
I think Miss Ginger's behind on the feed. She's answering questions from. she's commenting on stuff that she hadn't caught up with us yet. But shout out to Miss Ginger.
Well, she's gonna be listening to that Oak Grove stuff 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and then
that's her baby.
And then,
I mean, we wouldn't even do shows in Oak Grove if it wasn't for Miss Ginger. So, just like we probably wouldn't do shows in Fountain Hill if it wasn't for Miss Betty.
Right.
We wouldn't do shows in Mendon if it wasn't for Chuck. We wouldn't have done Spring Hill shows if it wasn't for Frogs, Mr. Troy. Brookhaven and West Monroe, I've been doing those for 19 years. They probably would still be there. But the others that we travel and do definitely wouldn't be there without other people helping and bringing their assets and stuff to the table.
Yeah. And we appreciate them for that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Diork's done by Image, for those that are wondering. So yeah, Image is who publishes Diork, who is the biggest independent company.
I was going to say, wouldn't you say that Image would be number 3?
Yeah, Image is by far number 3. It's not even close.
Well, I mean, they've been around like I mean, 30 years ago. It seems like I was getting Shadowhawk and Hit and.
Yeah, it was the mid 90s when like Spawn hit. I think it was 95, 96, somewhere in there. But that's when like all those guys left Marvel and created the best independent comic company in the world. And I'm glad they did leave. It changed comics forever.
They're also doing G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe is one of my personal favorites. It's part of what got me back into comics. I've always loved G.I. Joe. I'm a big Stalker, Beachhead, Storm Shadow fan. I'm not a huge Snake Eyes fan. I know that's hard to believe. Most G.I. Joe people love Snake Eyes. Not exactly my cup of tea. And I like in this, it's kind of like the Absolute world. They brought everything back, but they put little twists on it. So this isn't what you grew up on G.I. Joe. Like the Baroness is with the Joes right now. Snake Eyes hasn't even showed up, and we're 2 years in.
Well, this is issue 25 that's fixing to come out, and it's a new story arc, so this is a good jumping on point.
Mm-hmm. And they're very good about their trades. I think you have one of the trades available too on there.
Yeah,
they put the trades out in a good time, good speed, so you can stay up to date on this story very, very easily.
And this trade's pretty fascinating because that's Optimus Prime.
Yeah. And of course, in the Transformer book right now, he's no longer Prime. He's just Optimus. There's another leader of the Transformers in the Transformer book right now.
Oh,
So this was a very interesting conversation because it wasn't what you think it would be.
you getting any Sergeant Slaughter in there with him?
No Slaughter yet, but he was definitely there back in the day.
Yeah.
I went to GI Joe Fest back before COVID. It's the only convention or anything I've ever went to, and Sergeant Slaughter was there, so we had breakfast with him and did his little panel. And my wife actually won the little Sergeant Slaughter figure, and they were supposed to mail it to us when it came out, but we never got anything.
If you have the opportunity to see Sarge at a show, excuse me, do the let him put the Cobra clutch on you, because when you do the Cobra clutch photo op, he slips you a coin, and I normally have it on my desk, but I must have it put up. It's a really neat coin. I normally keep it on my desk, but you're just, because you did the challenge, you did the Cobra clutch challenge, and so it's just a neat takeaway from an awesome picture of you in the Cobra clutch as well.
Right. And of course, again, for those that going back to wrestling, don't judge Sergeant Slaughter just by his matches that you saw in WWF. That was the back end of his career. Go back and watch some of his stuff in the Carolinas, and when he was out there doing the main events and going 30 minutes and 40 minutes, and get your hands on some of the pre-WWF Sergeant Slaughter if you're going to judge him.
Oh yeah, he's definitely has with Sergeant Slaughter and Private Terry Daniels had
Right.
Against Steamboat and who's the guy's team with Steamboat? The NWA World Tag Team Champions, Youngblood.
Right.
Jay Youngblood and Steamboat. It was quite a battle.
Oh, yeah. Sergeant Slaughter had a heck of a run in the Carolinas.
Yeah,
But
former United States champion. He was something. All right, Redcoat. I know nothing about this title.
all right. So this is probably my wife's favorite read. Either this or Absolute Batman. And it's in my top 5 or so. Jeff Johns is who I think is the best comic book writer of all time. And he writes this. It's part of the Ghost Machine, which is a branch of Image that Jeff Johns, Brad Meltzer, a bunch of very, very talented artists have kind of put themselves in a corner, and they have their own little worlds. So like Junkyard Joe, Geiger, Redcoat are all in one world. Mr. Hyde's in its own little world, which is a horror world. Then there's Rook Exodus, which is kind of sci-fi and stuff. And then I don't know anything about the $1 Trillion Kid and Halo and Hornsby and that little world, but that's kind of their lighter world, more fun. But Redcoat is basically a guy that can't die. And it starts in like your Benedict Arnold, your Revolutionary War times, and then we kind of follow him through. He meets Johnny Appleseed. He meets Albert Einstein. He does all these interactions with people. He goes through different women because, of course, if you live forever, your family and the people you interact with is going to change. And he's very selfish for a long time, but now we're starting to see like he finally has a family he cares about and that he loves, and he's trying to do everything to keep it together. And it's such an interesting story, and the artwork is top notch on it.
It looks good, and you mentioning Jeff Johns makes me interested in this because I'm a huge Jeff Johns fan from his Green Lantern run.
Right. I mean, he is the Green Lantern GOAT as far as most people are concerned. He's also probably the JSA GOAT as far as most people are concerned. And then he started with these other guys, the Ghost Machine brands. So he's actually writing Mr. Hyde. He's writing Ghost Machine. He's writing Geiger. And he's writing, what's the other one? Rook Exodus. So Jeff is very hands-on with this world. And he doesn't really put out a bad story. Even if he has a bad day, it's still going to be a solid read.
Yeah.
You're disappointed if the book's only solid and Jeff Johns wrote it. And again, with comics, you got to remember, people, not every issue is going to blow you away. If it's a 6-issue arc, there's going to be a lull somewhere in the story as he tries to move pieces and set things up and, get ready to give you that bang that makes you go, oh, this was such a great series. There are going to be an issue here and there. So don't, read 5 issues, love it, read issue 6, don't like it, and give up on a book.
Right.
Because in the end, you still liked 5 out of 6. So that's a pretty good track record. I tell people the same thing with like wrestling. They just expect the standards are so high. You're not going to be happy every single match, every single show, every single thing. They have to put out so much TV content now that you could have the best booker in the world, whoever that may currently be, and they're still not going to be able to put out good from top to bottom with how much they're asked to do. So just be patient. And if you are, Jeff Johns will definitely pay you off.
Hey, before we move on, Matthew points out that they tease a G.I. Joe crossover in the last Transformers movie.
I don't know. I don't know if I watched the last.
I know I didn't.
I don't think I watched the last Transformers, but I mean, G.I. Joe and Transformers have always, interacted with each other in the comic books and different things. So, I mean, it definitely wouldn't surprise me. In the mainline G.I. Joe book that's going on right now, the one that Larry Hama to this day is still writing, Tomb Raider just showed up. So that was a character nobody was expecting.
Yeah, I like the idea that having crossovers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The whole Energon universe is kind of crossing over. So you have Mask, G.I. Joe, Transformers, ROM. I think they're bringing Micronauts back. Is here recently we found out. So all those old Hasbro titles are kind of all in the same world. Void Rivals is in that world too. And they cross over a little bit. Not a lot, but they do cross over.
We got Battle Beast 12, and I noticed that we jumped off when I went looking for this. The Invincible Universe.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite book that I'm reading right now. It's either this or Deathstroke. But
I do like Invincible.
It's really popular too. Like, this is an Image book, but I mean, sales wise, it's a top 25 book every month. And I think it's better than that. I think it's more like a top 15 book. I'm just being safe by saying top 25. But this book is competing with the big boys. Like, it's not beating your absolute Batmans and stuff like that, but it's whooping a lot of DC and Marvel's butt. Battle Beast, of course, comes from the world of Invincible. If you watch the animated show, he's been in there a little bit. He pops his head in and out for like season 1, maybe, comes back, and he's a little bigger part in season 3. I haven't watched season 4 yet. It's on my to-do list. But Battle Beast wants to die, but he only wants to die at the hands of somebody worthy of defeating him. And there's not very many people that can defeat him. So he's basically traveling, trying to find somebody that can kill him. I mean, that's what he wants. That's his dream. So you're telling this kind of sad story, but in a very noble way, because it's very entertaining still. And the fight scenes are incredible. They're actually taking a break after this one, but they'll be back in January. But there is going to be a few months gap. Him and Conquest have been fighting for, I think this will be the 3rd issue, maybe 4th. But it's been a massive fight. Really cool fight, too. And anybody that's seen the animated show knows that Conquest is a bad mamma jamma on there, too. He beats Invincible up like he's a little kid. If Invincible wouldn't have had help, there's no way he would have defeated Conquest. So that's the power level that Conquest is on. So when these two meet each other, they're both like, I'm your Huckleberry. And they kind of have that moment where it's like, all right, let's do it. And it's incredible. Of course, Kirkman from Walking Dead plus Invincible's writing it. Otley's doing the art, and he did the original art for Invincible, and he's gotten better as time's passed. So it's either my first or second favorite book every month.
That's a hell of a cover right there.
Yeah, some of their covers are the best that you're going to get on a monthly basis. I actually got a variant cover, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I never do that. But there was a $9.99 cover, and I was looking at my cover that's $4.99, and I was just like, I really want the $9.99 one, and I don't ever do that. But I put my $4.99 back on the shelf, and I bought the $9.99.
See, I admire that
I only buy
because
one.
I'd have bought both of them.
See, I only buy one because it's the same story inside.
I know.
So, I'm only going to buy one. Now, I might pick which one. I can pick my favorite, but I'm going to buy one. But that way I can afford to buy the next book.
I'm not that strong. We got Conan the Barbarian.
Conan is one of the best ongoing monthly titles. This is from Titan Comics. Don't let the publisher fool you. I know you've probably never heard of them, but they're doing good stuff. They're putting out good work. Jim Zub takes this character very, very serious. He's, times have changed. It's not exactly your Howard version in the 70s and beyond and stuff, but he keeps a lot of that spirit still.
Is that Red Sonja with him?
I can't tell on that cover, but they do some crossing over. Red Sonja's actually on. I think Red Sonja's with Dynamite right now, maybe.
Okay.
Now I might be off, but Red Sonja is doing a crossover this week with Vampirella. It's a one shot, but you can get it today at your local comic shop. But yeah, Conan's fantastic. I definitely recommend it, or the magazine version, Savage Sword of Conan too. It's also really good, and it's in black and white like the old days. This is colored, but the magazine is in kind of black and white like you would remember from your childhood. And the stories are really good. If you want fights and swerves and women falling in love with Conan and the wild sea adventures and stuff like that, this is the book for you. Our Baymore character definitely isn't Conan. There's some obvious differences, but they could be cousins. They could hang out.
This is out of everything that you told me about that you want to talk about. This is the one that intrigues me the most.
Yeah, there's only doing 3 issues of this, and they're all oversized. So,
Operation Coffin Drop. Operation Iron Coffin.
Yeah, they're all oversized, but there's only going to be 3 issues of it. They're dropping Dracula into World War II, into Nazi camp on a train with a mission, and it's just crazy. He's going through all these Germans as he goes through the train, and he's trying to get to a certain part of the train, which
he's on board with the mission.
He gets dropped. Yeah.
I thought they was just like eating vampires out and using them as weapons.
No, Dracula's having to make good for some of the bad that he's done in the past. So if he doesn't want to be contained, killed, and put in his little corner forever, he has to go do this for the Allied.
Okay.
So they drop him, they parachute him down onto a train, and it goes crazy from there. Issue 1 was a lot of fun. The artist I've actually talked to about maybe doing a cover for us, but some of the work he did on like the double page spreads and stuff with the trains, so much detail. I can't wait for issue 2 to come out.
I love this cover.
Yes. Yeah, there were several good covers for Iron Coffin. They did a good job on the covers.
Well, I definitely am going to check out Iron Coffin because this it just sounds like a cool story to me.
Yeah, issue 1 was a lot of fun, so I'm sure issue 2 is going to continue it.
Fire and Ice Dark Wolf.
Did you see the Fire and Ice animation in the 80s?
No.
Okay, so there's an animated show that this world is based off of.
Well, Fire and Ice, the only Fire and Ice I know are the DC Comics.
Okay, well, this is a 1980 something animation, and at the time it was top of the line animation. You go back and look at it now, and it's kind of like, oh. But in the 80s, it was top notch stuff, and this is based in that world. And the Dark Wolf character is kind of a lone wolf, but he does hate the main bad guy too, just like the good guys do. So he ends up helping the good guys a little more than being a lone wolf. Like he's kind of teaming with them, but in the end, he's got his own agenda, his own thoughts, his own stuff. And the artwork in this is amazing. It was beautiful.
It looks good. The cover really is something.
The guy writing it is actually one of the best cover guys in the business. He's just lately been branching out and doing some writing to try and make his name in there too. But he is one of the best. I think it's Dan Panosian. He is one of the best cover guys in the business. Period. I've actually talked to him about doing a cover for us, but he's so busy. I might can get on like a 2 or 3 year waiting list.
Yeah.
But he's probably honestly out of our price range too. So I doubt we end up getting a cover, but it might be a bucket list thing that I save up for. And if Castle Aiden's still going strong in a year or two, maybe.
Well, these are all. I mean, they're all seem like solid choices. I'm really into Iron Coffin is a must. The cover alone might make me want to try Dark Wolf.
Yeah. Issue 1's a little short. It's an easy read.
But if Battle Beast being in the Invincible universe, I could see me going down an Invincible universe rabbit hole real quick.
There's also another one that they're doing out of that world right now called Capes. I got the first trade paperback, but they're doing new material now. But it's in that Invincible world too, and it's basically there's a night shift for heroes, there's a day shift for heroes, and it's a little more comedy, I guess. I mean, there's some serious moments in it, but there's definitely some comedy. Where Battle Beast doesn't have too much comedy; it's blood and guts. There is a few moments that are touching or make you laugh, but for the most part, you're there for the action. If you're reading Battle Beast, you're trying to see really cool fight scenes.
Speaking of really cool, now we've got the Castle Aiden Kickstarter going. Over in the top left corner, there's there's a QR code. If you're watching us, click on that code, be a part of it, be a supporter.
We got 1 week left on it.
We got a week left, and I think now, am I correct that we got somebody that's going to help out with the second Kickstarter?
Yeah, and I think she's even going to be able to get a video in this weekend to help us promote the first one a little bit too. Because like I said, we still got 7 days, and a lot can happen in 7 days. Our first day, we raised $1,100, and that was in a 24-hour window. We're around $1,600 right now. We're just under it. The next person actually will get us over the $1,600 mark. But that means, day one, we raised $1,100. In the next 20 days or so, we raised $500. So that lets you know how much can happen in one day. So she's actually going to do a video, Miss Lopez. She's going to do a video for us this weekend and kind of push people towards the Kickstarter. She's a cosplayer out of Texas that we're going to work together with and maybe get her to some of our booths next year. We might even do some cosplay covers like Vampirella, Red Sonja do. Plus, she has a good Instagram following, good TikTok following. Her doing videos and kind of helping get the word out, I think is going to be huge for us. Yeah, but I also think we're going to be able to make her some new fans too.
Yeah, look for her. She's Loopy Lopez on Facebook. Her name's Ariel with the E.
Yep, and you can find her on Instagram as well. She's probably more active on her Instagram, but stuff does definitely make its way to Facebook too.
Yeah, the Loopy Lopez is what she's listed as, and I mean, look at this. Look at the fangs.
Yeah, she's got some where she did like Mortal Kombat. There's medieval stuff. There's all sorts of stuff. She's very well rounded, and she attends a lot of Texas conventions already. Going as different cosplays and different things. If this works out, you might even see her in the book, maybe around issue 5. Just a possible spoiler.
Well, that's awesome news, and I think that's a net positive for Castle Aiden, definitely.
Oh yeah, and who knows, wrestling fans? She's in Texas. I might can get her over to one of the West Monroe shows if y'all really want. And have her sell 8x10s and
I
kind of
think
be.
she'd do well because it seems like West Monroe really like when we have the movie people there.
Oh yeah,
They're very they're very popular.
absolutely.
Our fans are very supportive of all that.
Yeah, that West Monroe crowd is something. You'll have movie people, you got lawyers, you got judges, you got attorneys, you got doctors, you got a little bit of every. You got mechanics, you got
Yeah.
plumbers. That the first 2 rows at BIW, there's a lot of different type people.
Yeah. It's a very diverse group for sure. Well, Josh, let's talk about food.
Okay, it's your turn, right?
Yeah.
What you got?
You wanted to know something about Mississippi.
I love me some Mississippi food. So
there's a place in Mississippi that I like. Me and Stephanie like to go. We like to go with friends, and it's really become a destination. It's not uncommon to get there, and there'll be a party bus, limousines that people get together and they make a night of it in a little town called Learned. It's between Jackson and Vicksburg, near Raymond.
okay, I know where Raymond is.
Yeah, it's just right there by Raymond, Learned, Mississippi.
Okay,
And the name of the place is J.D. Gibbs and Sons. It's an old store that was opened in the late 1800s. But in 2009, they decided to start cooking steak on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. And this thing has taken off like you wouldn't believe. Like when my wife was in high school, her and her teammates would walk over to this store and buy a drink.
okay.
I mean, this is just an old store that's, it's
Now, what kind of
over
menu?
100 years old.
What kind of menu are we talking?
Well, we have steak,
Okay,
and we have lamb chops.
I like lamb chops.
They have lamb chops, and they're really good. Sometimes they'll do, I believe they'll do fish. There's a fish offering. There might be chicken. I always go steak or lamb.
Okay,
Pork steak. They have pork steak.
I'm guessing you can get it like a loaded baked potato.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
And they'll have a side too. They might have a casserole or they'll have a casserole, or they might have some spinach but there's the lamb chops.
they look delicious. Is it still just Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Or?
It is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, so it's packed probably every Thursday, Friday.
Oh
Saturday.
yeah, like you'll get there, and here's the thing: you go in and they got like drink boxes. You just walk up and open one, and if you want a beer, you hang on to your caps and you just put your caps on the table so they know how many to charge you for.
Okay.
It's kind of the honor system.
Right.
They have, like when my mother was here. My mother back in the day, I mean, she drank tab. Like she was the one.
Right.
But they actually had tab. So it's the first restaurant she'd ever been to that she could get a tab. And I always told Mom when she quit drinking tabs, I knew they'd go out and they'd quit making it. And it's pretty true.
Okay.
Everything, it's served on paper plates. They got butcher paper on the tables. It's just meat roll, a couple of vegetables, and it's on, like I said, it's paper plates, plastic cups, or you go and you drink, go get up and go get you a beer or whatever.
Right.
Or you can bring your own. You can bring your own booze. There's
Okay.
people that bring whiskey and wine, and it's just and they've expanded it and put a patio out there. They normally have live entertainment. There'll be somebody singing, playing guitar.
Okay. I'm gonna see if
Nothing crazy.
I'm gonna see if I can talk Kristen into going and get a steak tonight. Now, obviously, we can't go eat this particular place, but I want a steak now.
And it's priced comparably to your finer steakhouses. I mean, you're gonna pay $30-$40 for a meal.
So ribeye is probably gonna run me $35-$40.
Probably.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've been there, but I think the last time I went, ribeye was 30 or 32.
Okay. Yeah, that's about right. So,
but it's a neat place. It's a cool environment. I mean, you look around at the old store and they got it really pops me because it reminds me of my family store when I was a kid.
nice.
With just some of the stuff they got in there, the way the shelves are. But they and actually they've expanded. They've got a catering truck now and they do private events and
Okay.
but in 2009 they pivoted to that.
Okay. Well, this is week 4 of the podcast, and we've had Coco for your sushi needs. We've had Pops for your Cajun drive-through needs. We had last week, we talked about Chan's food truck, the pink truck, which is soul food. And now we have our steak option here in just outside of Raymond, Mississippi. It was Learning, Mississippi?
Learned.
So
it's spelled like learned.
Okay.
But it's pronounced learned.
Okay. You know, here soon, once we get past all of our favorites, we're just going to have to take one for the team and hop in our car and maybe
go try somebody new.
Yeah, once every 2 or 3 weeks, we might just have to, for research purposes, drive to Lafayette or Ruston or Jackson or wherever, you know, and try some of this good food.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Okay.
I've got a couple of others that we'll get to that are there's some. I mean, there are some cool places to go to, and then they got, you know, in Mississippi that I was told, and I'm no spoilers, but I got my picture taken there, and somebody told me, said, well, now you're one of us because you're nobody until you had your picture taken here.
Well, I know I have to talk about Chisholm's in Brookhaven at some point, or Rooster will be mad at me.
Yeah.
He also really likes that place in Crossit. Man, what is that place? I'll look it up before the next one. I've ate there a million times. Bistro, something bistro, but it's delicious. I've been there a million times. So yeah, we still got plenty of places. We haven't touched on 2 or 3 of my favorites yet. There's also Ponchatoula's in Ruston, which I'm definitely going to give some love to at some point. Vicksburg, I mean, we both ate at Tony's and Rusty's before, and both are phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Those are my standard go-tos.
And of course, Rusty's was on the Food Network. He was part of Guys, Dinners, Drives In, and Dives. So, and then all the Baton Rouge food places I've been to and loved, like Chimes West and stuff. That's going to have to make the show at some point. Man Shack has the best seafood right there just before you get to New Orleans. I think it's called Melvindorf's. I might be saying it
Is
right.
that the one that's kind of down off the highway?
Yeah.
Right by the bridge?
Yeah, it flooded at one point.
Man, I've never been there, and I've always wanted to.
Amazing. We're going. That's the one that we got to go to.
Book it. Let's do it.
And the Little Big Cup in Lafayette, or just outside of Lafayette, that's another one that we just gotta. If you don't get hungry looking at their social media feed, you just are one of those people that eat to survive. You don't eat to enjoy, and that's okay. I mean, that's easier to keep the weight off. I respect it.
Oh, Jim Gaffigan. There's a comedian, Jim Gaffigan. Jim Gaffigan used to do a bit. I'm gonna tell this story. I'm gonna tell this story because it's funny because it ties into the comedy bit. But Jim Gaffigan said that if you're hungry, watching the Food Network is like watching porn.
He's not wrong.
So I tell you that to tell you that one time I had a dog that chewed up my remote control to my cable box. So I took the cable box, I took it, and I went to Time Warner in Dallas. And I'm waiting in line to go up and tell them that this has happened and I need to get the remote. And they have big screen TV on there, and there's the food channel's on. And the lady in front of me, they were like showing chocolate cakes. And she's a big girl. But I'm standing there and I hear her go, and I'm like, what? So immediately I'm like, did she just make a noise? And then a second later, she was like, hmm. And now I'm thinking about the joke that Jim Gaffigan told
Right.
about the Food Network. And I'm starting to crack up. And then she does it again. And now I'm trying to contain myself.
Right.
Like I'm just bearing down. My eyes are watering. I'm about to start crying. And then they just keep on, and she does it one more time. And now I'm just dying. Like the tears are about to roll down my face. And then she finally let out one like that hit her in the spot.
Right.
Whoa! And I was like, ah! And I mean, I bust out laughing. But she turns around, but because of the way I laughed, I just started keeping on like I was crying, like I had lost my shit.
Right.
Because I looked up and the tears are rolling down my face, and I look at her, I go, I'm sorry, my dad just died, and he loves the Food Network, and he just, and I'm laughing. That's the thing is that, but it sounds like I'm really crying.
Right.
And my dad been dead for years. They let me jump the line, exchange the remote control, no questions asked, and I'm out of there.
Okay. What exactly set her off? Like, what was her sweet spot?
It was a chocolate cake, and it had like a lava cake in the inside, and
Okay. Okay.
but
We all have our weaknesses.
hey, that chocolate cake was making it good to her. But I just was kind of proud of myself at how I quickly covered.
That's probably for the best.
Because if she'd have realized I was laughing at her, she'd have whooped my ass, and I think she could have.
Yeah. I worked at a psych hospital for a long time. And the hardest I've ever been hit in my life was by a female. She had ripped the toilet out the floor, like the whole toilet, not the top of the toilet. And there was some PCP involved. And I watched her whoop a bunch of other people before she got to me. And she landed one. And if she would have landed two, there wouldn't be a podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, it was something.
Hey, my dad told me you got to watch women, son. They'll hurt you.
Well, from my psych experience, like I would have much rather took down a 250, 275 pound dude than a 125, 130 pound girl. Because once the guy hit, it was kind of over. Like
when they get on that stuff, they turn into the Hulk.
Yeah, but like most of the guys, if you got them to the ground and it was time to give a shot or whatever, they were like, all right, you got me.
Yeah.
Cool. But the girls,
the women don't give it up.
No, they were going to scratch, claw, bite, do whatever.
Yeah. The chick that bit me was smaller than me.
Oh, yeah.
And it took 3 grown men to pull her off of me, and me beating her in the head with a tuna can.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get her just because she hugged me and just clamped down.
Right. Absolutely. We might have to move food to the first segment because now, like, I'm about to go spend more money than I should eating.
Well, I got barbecue pork chops in the oven, so
Okay.
I planned ahead because I got really hungry. I got really hungry.
Well, see, ours is weird because Kristen gets home around 6:30, but we do the podcast at 7. So there's really not a big enough window to like eat or do anything before.
Yeah.
So as soon as it's over, she's going to be staring at me like, all right, let's eat. And that's going to be what it is for Wednesdays, the month of August.
Well, we can go at 8 where we can eat before.
No, it's fine. She'll be all right.
All right.
Of course, we have a guest since we're wrapping up. We do have a guest next week. It'll be our first guest that'll be episode 5. My letterer, Don Jason Hall, DJ, will be on here, but he's not just our letterer. He did the map, which is amazing. He did one of the covers for the book. He's also did some 11x17 art for me, and I got him involved doing some other side projects for me. So he'll be an interesting guy to talk to. Yeah, that's the cover he did. So anybody that wants to support DJ after next week's show, the Kickstarter doesn't end till 11 a.m. on Thursday. So if you like what you hear with DJ Wednesday night, you'll still have some time that you can go and support him specifically by getting his cover. Now, all the covers are amazing. So if you want to do like Dave did and do the thing where you get every cover, that's fine too. That's actually the most popular thing.
$50, you get all 4 covers. Do it.
Yeah. But this one is DJ specifically. So if you're wanting to support him after next weekend's interview, because we're going to talk to him about, some time in the military, his travels. I think he's a Texas Tech fan, so I'll ask him how that happened. We'll talk comics for sure. And I might see, I'm not going to tell him, but I might see if he'll draw something for us.
Ooh.
Just a little quick something, nothing major. But I'm not going to tell him. That way we can surprise him. If I put him on the spot, I don't think he'll say no.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
So now it'll be a little quick thing. It won't be his best.
Yeah, y'all don't tell him. I know how y'all are.
Yeah. Some of y'all have already added Jason Turner and DJ and stuff on Facebook, which is great because I want those guys to stay as busy. Our whole squad, Justin Stewart doing the colors for issue 2 has been phenomenal. Jason with everything he did for issue 1 and issue 2. We just finished interiors for issue 2. Coloring still needs to be done, but all the pages for issue 2 are done. 3 of the 4 covers are done. Lettering on 8 of the 20 pages are done. Coloring on 9 of the 20 pages is done. So, issue 2 is going to be in y'all's hands a month after issue 1. You're not going to have a very long wait.
All right. Well, Josh, this has been fun.
Yes, sir.
4 episodes in, we've been doing it. We're our first month. How about that?
Yeah, and like I said, DJ next week, so that's somebody in the artist role. But the next month, we'll probably get a wrestler to come on. And then food will be a little harder. But I do have some contacts in the food industry that we can definitely get on the show. I know some food truck people that I think would love that opportunity to tell people about what they do.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to having all sorts of different guests on here and talking about such a wide range of stuff. We'll probably get Miss Lopez on here at some time and talk about cosplay and traveling the conventions from that perspective. I know Jason's going to come on here, our main artist, and talk. So we got all sorts of stuff that we're going to try and discuss on here. And again, y'all's questions can take our conversations all sorts of different ways. So feel free to ask whatever you're thinking about that day. If you're having a bad day and just want to talk it out, let's talk it out.
Well, thank y'all for joining us, and tell a friend about Triple P, the Comic Pod. Panels, pile drivers, and plates with Josh Newell. We'll see you next week right here with our guest, DJ Turner. Good night, everybody.